Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into literally one of the most critical decisions you'll ever make as a digital retail founder, picking your e-commerce platform. To help us out, let's look at these two stickmen entrepreneurs. They're both starting their journeys, exact same product, totally different platforms, Shopify versus WooCommerce. And as we track their 3-year true costs, we're going to uncover some major surprises about what it actually costs to do business online.
So let's just jump right in. We've got to ask the dangerous question that traps so many budget-conscious founders right out of the gate. Is WooCommerce actually free? Because, their marketing heavily pushes this free, open-source angle. Our first stickman founder sees that $0 price tag and is like, yes, I just saved a fortune. But listen, in the world of software infrastructure, free is rarely what it seems. Okay, let's look at the hard data. $810, all the way up to $2,060. That right there, that is the shocking, true annual baseline cost our founder actually pays just to keep that supposedly free WooCommerce store running smoothly. And we aren't even talking about crazy custom development here. This is literally just the baseline operating cost for a mid-tier store before the heavy lifting begins. Month 1 feels like a steal, but by month 12, reality hits hard.
The analysts over at APVR Work actually summed this up perfectly. They said, WooCommerce's plugin is free, your store is not. I want you to think of that initial free download as basically a Trojan horse. Sure, it costs absolutely nothing up front, but the infrastructure you need to make it actually function, keep it fast, and keep it secure, it carries a massive, unavoidable toll that just sneaks up on you.
Suddenly, our sweating stickman is staring at this growing receipt of unexpected bills. To run WooCommerce the right way, you need a whole stack of services. First off, manage WordPress hosting, because trust me, basic shared hosting is going to crash the second you get any real traffic. Then you're paying for premium themes, core plugin subscriptions for basic stuff like checkout, plus SSL, CDN, and security tools. And the biggest one, you're paying for developer fixes every single time a plugin conflict breaks your site. So where exactly is that $2,000 going? Well, if we break it down, the biggest chunks of your budget get swallowed up by managed hosting and developer fixes. You're easily dropping somewhere between $360 to $960 a year just on enterprise-grade hosting like WP Engine or Kinsta. Then tack on another $300 to $600 for premium plugins. But the real wild card, the one that literally causes sleepless nights, is developer time. You've got to budget 10 to 20 hours a year just to fix plugin conflicts and run safe updates.
Now, let's pivot for a second because the contrast between these two paths is just stark. On one side, we've got our WooCommerce stickman, sweating over server crashes, stressing about security patches. But on the other side, our Shopify stickman is just chilling. They've got managed infrastructure so they can focus entirely on marketing and actually selling the product. This right here is the fundamental difference between a self-hosted open-source platform and a fully hosted SaaS model.
So, what exactly does fully hosted SaaS mean for you? Well, software as a service means Shopify handles the servers, they deploy the security patches, and they push the software updates for you. For you as the founder, it means absolutely zero coding to launch, no server management, and out-of-the-box security that actually keeps your site from crashing on Black Friday. You are literally paying to completely outsource your IT headaches.
And what does that peace of mind actually cost? $39. Yep, just $39. That is Shopify's predictable base monthly cost for their basic plan. When you stack that highly reliable, flat fee up against WooCommerce's totally unpredictable maintenance spikes, well, the financial picture starts to look very different. Sure, Shopify has transaction fees if you don't use Shopify payments, but your core infrastructure cost, that's completely transparent right from day one. This comparison right here really brings it home. Look at the financial peace of mind you get. Shopify's infrastructure costs scale predictably. You know exactly what your bill is going to be month to month. But WooCommerce, it suffers from these massive variable cost spikes. Let's say traffic surges and you have to upgrade your hosting. Or maybe a WordPress core update breaks your checkout and you need emergency developer hours. Boom, unpredictable cost spike.
The 3-year total cost showdown. Scaling beyond the start. Let's dive right into it.
All right, when we analyze the 3-year total cost of ownership data from AppWork, a super fascinating trend pops up. Shopify's platform licensing definitely costs more upfront, but WooCommerce demands immediate, separate budgets for hosting and initial setup. And the real kicker? Ongoing developer and maintenance costs. Over 3 years, WooCommerce drastically inflates. We're talking anywhere from $3,000 to $12,000 just to keep the lights on, compared to Shopify's vastly lower maintenance needs.
Okay, here is the ultimate reality check.
The data shows that for clients who scale up to $500,000 or more in gross merchandise value, WooCommerce stores actually end up spending 40% to 60% more in total platform costs over a 24-month period compared to an equivalent Shopify subscription. Think about that. At scale, the so-called free platform ironically becomes way, way more expensive.
So why exactly does this happen? Well, it comes down to a few specific growth hurdles. Step 1, validating your product demand is pretty cheap on either platform. But Step 2, managing IT infrastructure as you grow, and Step 3, handling peak traffic surges, those are incredibly taxing on WooCommerce. See, Shopify's managed cloud architecture just automatically absorbs flash sales. But WooCommerce, you have to build and pay for an expensive custom Nginx and Redis hosting stack just to stop your store from collapsing under the weight of its own success.
The analyst over at Cogent2 summed up this trap perfectly. They said the operational risk of managing your own security and performance on WooCommerce is a distraction from your core business of selling. And wow, that really hits the nail on the head. That is the true operational tax of open source. If you aren't super careful, you stop being a retailer and you basically become a full-time server admin. Your time is finite, right? If you're spending it debugging a broken plugin, you aren't spending it acquiring new customers.
So, let's deliver the final objective verdict here. Honestly, neither platform is universally bad. It's all about alignment. WooCommerce is unequivocally the best choice if you are a content-led brand, a blogger, or a publisher relying heavily on deep WordPress SEO to drive your traffic, and you don't mind owning your technical stack. But Shopify? It is the clear winner for high-volume, direct-to-consumer brands where checkout reliability, speed to market, and peak trading stability are absolutely non-negotiable. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. You really have to ask yourself this one memorable question. Are you building an e-commerce brand, or are you building an IT department? You've got to choose your platform based on where you actually want to spend your time and resources over the next 3 years. Because as we've seen today, the true cost of a platform isn't just what you pay on day one, it's what it demands of you as you grow.